Yep. Hello, hello.
All right, everybody. We are here, and I have a co host today. Say hello, co host.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Dr. Nick.
Oh, you sounded like Dr. Nick. I was like, I just giggled. I was like, what?
How you been, buddy? You good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Finally back on a. Well, I hope it sticks. It's sleeping, going to bed at like 11:30, 12 o'clock, getting up in the morning. So
Yeah,
I should be
I tried that.
able to join you pretty much on the regular now.
I tried doing the whole sleep during the night, be up during the day thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I woke up last night. I think it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night actually.
Yes.
And I've been up all night working and doing shit. But anyway, my other job is pretty much nighttime based, so it's just easier just to stick with it, I suppose. All right, guys. Obviously today we're going to try and get cancelled. We're covering some interesting topics. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Obviously the big thing is obviously we want to talk about this guy. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is Andrew Tate. Then we're going to talk about Dylan Mulvaney, and the third thing was was Sound of Freedom. Again.
See why he says that probably gonna get cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just basically you pick these three things, and that's how you speed run yourself to.
Well,
platforming.
What I figured is that they're going to hit today's video because I'm going to be talking about Tate. So I may as well hit all three subjects that are going to get me cancelled, and then tomorrow we can cover something light like Australia putting in a new speed bump or something, and then I'll be back into the good graces of the YouTube overlords again.
Yeah. Well, let's see how that works out.
It won't work, but that's my theory. If we're going to get canned, let's do it on one day, all in one hit, and then we can worry about it like tomorrow. We'll go back to like boring topics.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so Andrew Tate has just recently gone through and had an interview with Carlson Tucker, of all people.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, that one. And it was actually a really, really interesting interview, I will admit. I have started it. I have got about three. I want to say probably about halfway through it. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about is the first 20 or 30 minutes. Now, I just realised I didn't actually send you a link to this video, did I?
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know there was an interview with Tucker and Tate.
No, well, that just goes to show how well they're panicking about it, right? So,
man,
what was that? Do you remember that website that allows us to do like remote streaming of videos? You know how like we would be able to go through and both watch the video and.
Oh. Yeah, that site. Oh gosh, I don't remember the name of it right now.
No, neither do I. I was trying to think of it the other day actually. But so obviously you won't be able to hear it. But everybody else who obviously is watching will.
So guys, Andrew Tate and Tucker Carlson.
So
I can actually hear it if I just tune into the channel. You won't hear it. There won't be no echo.
Gotcha. All right, let's just do that then.
An interview is finally here. If you want to join the real world, we have a link in the description.
So what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a financial crime?
It looks that way, and it's very interesting because the girls who they've identified to add to the file are saying that we're not victims of anything and this isn't true. But the state believes it's true, and the state thinks that I, as a 35-year-old man, woke up. I was already extremely financially successful. I was already a father. I was already very well known. I had no financial motivation. I have no criminal record. It's not my personality profile, but I woke up at the age of 35 and decided to make girls do TikTok to enrich myself with the pennies that I would earn from TikTok views.
So in the United States, I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
How do you force someone to do TikTok videos?
I guess the prosecutor is going to have to explain that, isn't he? It's a very interesting scenario I'm in, and I'm inside of Romania, so I have to show a degree of respect to the Romanian judicial system, and I have to show a degree of respect to the situation I'm in. But the overall charge is that there's an organized criminal group. There's a group of us. I'm the head of it. My brother is below me, and we use the lover boy method to convince women to do TikTok videos to make money so that we can steal the TikTok money.
So there's no, just to be clear, you are not accused of pandering, of pimping, of forcing women to have sex with anybody.
No, not forcing them to have sex, not restraining their movement, not stopping them from living a full life, but the fact that we are somehow convincing them to have TikTok. Very interesting. I don't think...
But there's no actual... I'm asking you this because I do think it's a widespread belief that you were accused of pimping.
Yeah, no, that's nothing to do with any of this case. Absolutely nothing. And it's kind of scary because the crime in itself of human trafficking is a unique one because they can ignore the statement of the victim. So the girls have come forward and said, this is insane. You've just picked us because we're near Andrew and we're his friends. But the whole idea of the crime is they can say that she's brainwashed, right? She's under duress. So you can ignore her statement. State says she's a victim regardless of the fact that she says she's not a victim. So it's very interesting because the difference between sex and rape is consent, right?
Right.
But they remove all of that. They're like, nope, you're a victim. No matter what you say, we're deciding you're a victim. And they've chosen them. And of course, these girls do nothing pornographic. They've never had sex with anyone, nothing to do with that. So they've picked TikTok. So it's scary. Imagine you're a full-grown man anywhere in the world today. They can find two girls who have TikTok on their phone, which is every single female on the planet, and they can accuse you of forcing them to take the TikTok money. And even if the girls say they didn't do that, this isn't true, then you're still a human trafficker.
But force, what does that consist of? Forcing someone to do something? Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No, they're accusing me, and this is the thing, they're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
And by the way, these charges presumably are public, so...
They're public, and this is extremely serious, but if you actually analyze the overall case against me, they're saying that Andrew and his brother, by being nice men, convinced girls to have TikTok accounts and then take the money. And it's very interesting because inside of the entire case file, there's not a single financial transaction to us for money.
What are the penalties?
They're extremely severe, 5 to 10 years in jail. And I've already served, coming up now, 7 months in a form of jail. They can only hold
So you are essentially incarcerated right now.
Absolutely, I'm on house arrest, and that counts as jail. You can only be held 6 months without charge. I was initially picked up, thrown in a cell without charge, and I think...
So, just for the people that are watching, he was originally arrested on the 23rd of December. They had until the... Sorry, was it 23rd or 28th? They had until the 28th, I think it was, the 28th of June to arrest him officially so that the charges would stick. And I believe it wasn't until... I think it was around the 24th. They were literally getting towards the end of the time before they could actually to make these charges stick. So like it was like getting towards the 10th hour or the 12th hour where they had to arrest him for something. And this is what they're arresting him for, is making TikTok videos.
Yeah, under duress, yeah.
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 I do want to go through this whole thing one day. I might live stream the whole interview one night because it's really, really interesting. All right, so I'm guessing you're probably finished watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and find that website. What are your thoughts? Like, let's say, first of all, let's just be honest. This is him saying it, right? So he could be full of shit, right?
Yeah.
He could be. Personally, look, I've always said this, and I'll say this on the record. I don't think Andrew believes some of the stuff that he says, and that's my problem with Andrew Tate. Is that right? He goes on about how guys should be high value, and how like you should find a girl with a low body count, but he also then encourages girls to do webcam and or apparently TikTok, whatever it is, right?
That's part of the course with Red Pill. Red Pill channels is the guys are usually players, and you know it's all about getting lots and lots of punani, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but wife material is like 0 to 1 body count,
Yeah.
and those are the good girls. I don't know. It's all very, very strange.
And look,
I find it.
Look, I'll say on the record that my ex had a 0 body count when her and I first started dating. She was a virgin, and she still cheated on me. So at the end of the day, just because she's a virgin or she has a low body count doesn't mean she doesn't cheat. I think it's more of a social thing than a body count thing. I think you can have a girl with the lowest body count in the world and she'll still cheat because the West sort of encourages it. But that's another video for another day. What I was going to say was, if he's right though, if he has been charged with trafficking because of TikTok, this is going to put the final nail in the coffin for all of mainstream media.
Yeah. How do you traffic with TikTok?
Like, can you imagine? Let's just say for the argument's sake, he is 100% true, right? He's been 100% honest, and it's TikTok videos that are supposedly he's involved with, right? When this comes out, everybody's going to look at the media and says, you said he was ST. I don't want to say that because obviously we're facing enough demonetization today as it is. You were ST, right?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Now it's not that. It's TikTok videos, and not only is it TikTok videos, but the girls didn't even want to be victims. And I can verify this part of what he's saying. The girls have said officially, officially, there was 10 complaints originally. I think it's 8 of the girls or 7 of the girls that said they're not victims. And the 2 that they didn't say they weren't victims were caught on tape admitting to trying to set him up.
So what? And here's the crazy thing then. Under what grounds was it illegal? I'm actually bewildered that it could be illegal to do TikTok trafficking. That's really bizarre.
Well, it's not even traffic. Like, dude, like you and I, like.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not even that.
You and I know, like, you know how much I've chased Jeffrey Epstein and done reports on Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
That's trafficking.
Real thing.
Yeah,
that's the real thing.
That's trafficking, not TikTok. Are you kidding me? TikTok videos.
I guess they call it, what is it? It's the Gen Z version of ST.
This is going to end so badly for the mainstream media because they've been making out that this guy is the epitome of evil. This guy ST'd all girls all around the world. He's the devil incarnate. And when
I was about to say that.
Yeah, and when it comes out, if it's true, if it comes out that he was TikToking, people are going to lose every shred of faith in the mainstream media most of them have already lost it. Most other people that are still like trapped in the matrix, so to speak, they're going to be like, are you freaking joking? This is going to end badly for the mainstream media, and they don't realize it.
It's really bizarre. Yeah, I don't see how this is a crime. I don't understand it.
I don't think it's a crime, and this is giving credit to what he says. Right, he speaks out against the Matrix. He speaks out against the machine. Right, you and I both know how much I've headbutted the wall when it comes to fighting the machine. Right, my channel's proof of it. I can tell you now, there is a narrative, and you and I have spent especially me, but even you to a certain point, have spent most of your time butting heads up against it. It's real. This Matrix that he speaks of, it's not a VR world. It's not a virtual simulation. It's a narrative that gets pushed by powers that be. It's definitely real. He's right when he says about the Matrix, and he's been speaking out against it, and now to somewhat prove that he's right when he talks about the Matrix, their idea is we'll frame him for ST because he made TikTok videos. How do you think, Matrix, serious question, how do you think this is going to go? Like, I was already suspect on the whole thing about him because I thought it was the webcam girls. I thought, maybe, like, even then I was thinking like, oh, you guys are really pushing the ST on this one. But now, according to him, it's friggin' TikTok. Like, what the hell happened? Say I take home some 21-year-old, right? And we have a little bit of a session. And at the end of the night, she gets there and she's making a TikTok. Bad hair, hashtag for life. Does that mean I can get charged with ST now?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I'm going to have a strict no TikTok policy on my every time I date a girl by the looks of it. Well,
Yeah, although, it's every girl on the planet, apparently. That was pretty funny.
Dude, to be honest, the amount of girls that have it is ridiculous.
Yeah. Amazing.
So, obviously, at the end of the day, it's great that obviously this interview, and it's a 2.5 hour interview, and we will go through it one night, guys. We'll do a live stream probably on a Saturday or Sunday or something, and we'll sit down and we'll watch the whole thing. It's great that obviously this video and this interview is coming out, and of course, the mainstream media has been well adjusted and not losing their shit whatsoever over the fact that Tucker Carlson has interviewed. Oh, wait, hang on, they did. So, anger as Tucker Carlson drops lengthy interview with ST suspect Andrew Tate. Tucker Carlson has once again invited criticism for uploading a 2.5 hour long interview with something and ST accused Andrew Tate on Twitter. That word there that I'm not saying, that has actually already been dropped. So it's interesting they're still pushing the narrative when it comes to that 4-letter word that starts with R, when that case has already been dropped already and found to be innocent. The former Fox News host and now uploads a new series he calls Tucker on Twitter sat down with the controversial social media influencer who was arrested and charged with something, which has been disproven, human something, and a leading and organized crime group to sexually exploit women in Romania. They made TikTok videos, media. Apparently, according to him, it's TikTok videos. Yeah. Like you can see how they're framing this, and like I say, it's a big if, right? He might be full of it. Who knows? But if he's true and he's right, and this is how they're framing it, this is not going to go well for mainstream media. People are like, but hang on, you said he groped, human trafficked, and all sorts of stuff. What do you mean? I thought you said he said that. He did that. I didn't think it was TikTok. People are going to lose faith in the media over this.
Yeah, I wish I had already, but yeah.
Well, most of them already have. So the people that are left are left. The extensive interview, Carlson's first on his new show, that is on the 9th episode, has racked in millions of views hours after it was uploaded. And that's what they're really complaining about. Carlson, who previously defended Mr. Tate, and has called his arrest a human rights violation, which it probably is, has sparked outrage by giving a platform to the influencer without proper scrutiny or contextualization. Really? That's your argument? Is that the proper scrutiny or contextualization? Because it's funny.
An interview I have seen is when Tate had that rather confrontational one with the chick from BBC, I think it was.
Which part of that? Which section of that interview? Because the whole interview went for 43 minutes.
Let
So did you see the 43-minute episode, or did you see the 16-minute one that the BBC uploaded?
Oh, the 40-odd minute one.
Yeah.
The long one. Yeah. Yeah, so they're probably wondering why, why Tucker wasn't like that.
Because she got wrecked in that interview.
She did.
Yeah. Like, dead set. It would have been less embarrassing if Andrew Tate bent her over the couch and spanked her with a paddle. That would have been less embarrassing than what she went through with that interview. Like,
Yeah. That would have been funny to see.
it would have, actually. I probably would have paid to see that because she deserved it. But anyway.
Spank.
But
Give her a paddling.
yeah, paddle for your troubles. But obviously, at the end of the day, obviously Rolling Stone, who, by the way, justified cuties, and also, by the way, also went through and criticised the sound of what's it called? The Sound of Freedom. Has now also gone through and is now saying that Andrew Tate compares himself to Titanic victims in nauseating Tucker Carlson interview. So, totally not biased whatsoever. Now,
Nauseating interview?
yeah.
God, things the mainstream media says is just unbelievable.
So I've watched the first half of this interview. I have not seen him compare himself to a Titanic victim yet.
Yeah.
It might
Did
be
you
in
get
the
nausea?
No, I didn't get nausea watching the interview. I actually thought it was actually really, really, really well done, actually. But I was going to say, but I look, it might be in the last part. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm about halfway through. I'm about to watch the other half, and I'll probably wrap up here. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's and by the way, they've also gone through and picked the photos of Carlson Tucker that is also unflattering too. So there's that.
Carlson Tucker.
Whatever his name is, Tucker Carlson. Sorry, there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's on the screen in big writing. I got a splitting headache too, so leave me alone. But what I was going to say was, it's like this is like the mainstream media. So on Tuesday, former Fox host Tucker Carlson opened his interview with a social media personality and an alleged human, by lamenting how many young men have withdrawn into pornography, and touted Tate as a potential tonic to the blight. To be honest, we do have a bit of a porn addiction in society at the moment, so I'm not saying he's wrong on that. Despite Carlson Tucker's disdain over porn, the host left out virtually every relevant data of Tate's documented webcamming business, instead allowing Tate to paint a rosy picture of himself as a woefully misunderstood family man who's been targeted by the global matrix. Is he wrong, though? Like, I don't know. If he's facing 5 or 10 years in jail because some of the girls he was dating has a TikTok account, I don't know. That seems like he might be targeted by a global matrix. I don't know. It just they might be giving a bit of credence to him about that. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. There's like when it comes to like being targeted by the Matrix, it's kind of like a lot of people get attacked like that. He's not the first,
No.
and he won't be the last.
No.
There's a lot of people out there.
So I'm not sure if you remember, but when I was about 996 subs on this channel, there was a tweet that went out, and the only reason I know about it was because the douchebag actually added me in the tweet. Someone added Media Matters and said, at Nonpartisan Media is getting too big, he needs to be stopped. And ever since then, my YouTube channel has been under the severe thumb of the censor overlords. Now, I was actually at work when this tweet, because it came up on my phone as a notification, right? Yeah. I went, what? I unlocked the phone, and by the time I had unlocked the phone and Twitter had come up, they had deleted the tweet, and I'm guessing they had DM'd it to him. But yeah, it was there for about 2 or 3 seconds. It was really quick. They quickly deleted it, and I think it was completely a mistake. I think at the end of the day that what they were supposed to do was not at me, but by adding me, that triggered the alert that came up on my screen. So like I said, I can tell you guys now, the Matrix that he talks about, it's definitely real. We've spent better part of the past 5 years, 6 years headbanging it, and not in a good way. So yeah, he is 100% right when he talks about the Matrix. But I don't know. Is there what else? Yeah, what are your thoughts on Tate? What do you reckon?
Not a whole lot. I think that I really want to see the outcome of the case as well.
You want to see what sort of
'cause
evidence they have?
Yeah, that too, and hopefully our resident, hilarious court case covering guy covers it.
Oh yeah, yep. You're talking about what's his name? Oh, I'm blanking on his name.
I know, me too. What the hell?
Yeah.
How weird. Recator Law.
Recator, that's it. Yeah, Recator.
Yeah.
I'm blanking because I've got a headache. I don't know what your excuse is, but I've got a headache. But yeah, Recator.
I slept out of season.
yeah, you've had like hours sleep. But yeah, hopefully Recator will talk about it or cover it. But like I said, as far as I know with this Romania thing, like they can stretch this out for years.
Yeah, and I do hope that's not what happens.
Do you think they're going to though?
They might. If they're desperate enough. The Matrix really wants to keep him down. Why they want to keep him down?
Well, because he's making men go to the gym, work out, and become self-sufficient.
Yeah, I think he was too influential.
Like we covered this yesterday. Dude, they're literally claiming if you go to the gym, you're alt-right now.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to the gym is now alt-right.
Yeah.
Which is strange, because I've seen a lot of, like, just really simple people go to the gym. I don't live far from one.
Yeah.
And I see the kinds of people that walk in and out. I'm like, geez, are they really alt-right? Damn, alt-right people just look like normal people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, according to the Biden administration now, if you go against if you now support freedom of speech, you're now alt-right.
What? Really?
Yeah, Biden administration said that. I think that was earlier today, actually.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But obviously, look, the Daily Mail has a really balanced take. Fury as Tucker Carlson shows Andrew Tate with praise and claims ST charges against him were dreamt up by Epstein's dining partners. Oof. Oof. In a gushing 2.5-hour interview he flew to Romania for.
Gushing?
Yeah.
They use some words.
They do. They really are breaking out that word calendar for the day. Tucker Carlson has stoked Fury once again as he showered Andrew Tate with praise. An interview with an influencer claimed that the ST charges against him were dreamt up by Epstein's dining partners. I haven't heard that part. Like I said, I'm only halfway through the interview. But media, is this where you really want to go with this? Do you really want to talk about Epstein? Because there's still a certain client list that we would love to see. The former Fox News host flew to Romania, sat down for 2.5 long interview with Tate as a part of his new Tucker on Twitter series. I tell you what, Elon Musk must be loving this. This is Like, how many views has this had? Let me bring it up. So, Tucker Carlson. Alright, so Andrew Tate interview for 2.5 hours. At the moment has 60 million views, and it's been up for a day.
Wow.
Elon Musk must be really hating this right about now. He must be sitting there thinking, holy shit, this is good for Twitter. And apparently he even tweeted it out. He retweeted it. So, yeah. Yeah, that happened apparently. But yeah. But anyway. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's look. Obviously, the media is losing their collective shit over this. Who would have thought? But at the end of the day, yeah, it's obviously it's just good to obviously go through and actually, I'm just checking the stream. Yeah, there we go. Obviously, at the end of the day, like I said, the media is collectively losing their SHOT over it.
Yeah.
But, like I say, look, I'm not Tate's biggest fan. To be honest, look, between you and me, I think he's a bit of a grifter. But,
Yeah, I don't think he's particularly like great either. Like as
No.
a
I don't think he's...
I don't think young men should listen to everything he says. Maybe a few things he says, sure, the Matrix thing and all that. That's fair enough. But some of his takes are like, oh gosh, I hope men are a bit more intelligent and to not, think that that's the way that you should treat a woman, or, these certain things that they say in the red pill, as a whole. Says a lot of really bad things that I think just don't make sense.
Yeah.
That's not what women are like, or that's not how you should be. Yeah.
I have a problem with like the whole like encouraging men to have multiple wives and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's my issue. That's my view, right? And look, obviously, he's into polyamory, so so be it. I think collectively he's probably a net positive. Because at the end of the day, you take into account him encouraging men to go to the gym and him encouraging men to go out and make money and stuff like that. I generally
those are good messages.
Yeah, I think he's probably a net positive. But like I say, I don't agree with everything he has to say either. But at the end of the day, I do think at the end of the day, if the media wants to try and make out that there's not some matrix that's trying to control people, maybe not attacking the guy that's claiming there's a matrix is probably the best way. But hey, what would
Honestly,
we do?
I think the best way to learn how to treat and talk to women, honestly, is to just be around them.
Yeah.
Just be in spaces where women are.
But at the end of the day,
just
also
be around them.
I also think at the end of the day too is that we also do have to get rid of this simp culture. Men that pay for OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
simping is, oh gosh, that's cancer.
I was watching something the other day, and all I kept thinking was simp. But anyway, all right, let's go into the next. Let's break out to the next subject.
Yep, that's dirtish.
Sound of Freedom. Oh my god, so gonna get cancelled. Sound of Freedom breaks. It's broken the box office. So it is number one. It was number one for Spot on Monday, beating The Insidious Red Door even. And no one seems to care about Indiana Jones. But yeah, obviously, the film has all of its before Paramount Skydance. So this is all before Mission Impossible takes the air, which is probably going to take a lot of the hot air out of all these other films. But yeah, Red Door was second Monday with a 3.5 million at 3,188 locations, and Sound of Freedom was at 36.5 million. So we do actually have some of the box office details for Sound of Freedom. And just for sake, we're also going to compare it with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery. So Sound of Freedom has, obviously, its opening was $19.6 million. At the moment, Sound of Freedom has hit just shy of $50 million. Indiana Jones, at the moment, has hit just shy of $130 million. Domestically, of course. But here's the thing. Sound of Freedom cost $5 million to make. Indiana Jones cost $300 million to make.
Imagine getting so massively beat by something made years prior
Yep.
and
5
costs
years.
so little.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep. Yeah. It's
that's embarrassing.
now you can start to see why the mainstream media is losing their shit over this movie, because like you were just saying, this movie sat on Disney's backlog for 5 years. It wasn't until Angel Films actually came out, brought the rights, and then released the film themselves. Like, this has been done and dusted and sitting on some shelf for 5 years. Now, my biggest question is, why did Disney hold back on releasing this film?
Because of the subject matter.
Because if anybody should be against the bad thoughts on this movie, you would think it would have to be some kid-friendly theme park.
Disney is also supposed to be like a family brand, I guess.
Well, that's my point.
They
Is
should
that,
be supportive.
yeah, they're a family brand. They should be supporting the message of this film. They should be against the bad guys in this film. So why did they sit on it for 5 years? Probably the same reason that some of their cast members and some of their crew have been arrested in pedophile stings too, maybe.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, Disney, we went there, we got the checks, cash 'em, buddy. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's like I say, Sound of Freedom, and do keep in mind too, this is only at 2,800 cinemas. Indiana Jones is at 4,600 cinemas. I can't even find a Sound of Freedom in my local area to go and watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait for this to hit Amazon Prime, because then I can obviously go and pay for it and watch it. But yeah, like I say, at the moment, it's been out for a week and it's made $50 million almost. Not bad for a $5 million budget.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. Obviously, look, at the end of the day, the reason why this matters, and this is something that you and I were talking about before the show, you got to remember, box office money-wise, movies only make half of what they take. So if it's made, like, for example, Indiana Jones, right? Worldwide has made $250 million. So only half of that is going to Disney. Right? They've spent $300 million to make this movie. They double it, so that's $600 million. And also probably going to spend $100 to $150 million in advertising and marketing. So they're going to need to make around $800 to $900 million to make a profit on Indiana Jones. Sound of Freedom did it. Sound of Freedom did it within the first 2 days. The first day it hit profit. It cost $5 million to make, and on the 4th of July when it's released, it hit $14 million. Not Not to mention the fact that, like, you look at Indiana Jones, right? Its drop-off rate, it's lost 67% of its audience last week, 40% of its audience the week on Saturday, 52% of the audience on Sunday. Monday is 70% of the audience drop, and on Tuesday it's a 70% audience drop. Now, don't get me wrong, Sound of Freedom is starting to lose some of its audience now. It's been out for a week. But, like, yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive.
So obviously the media has been well adjusted and completely honest when it comes to Sound of Freedom, just like Andrew Tate. So why Sound of Freedom, controversial CS trafficking film, is a hit? So let's have to see what the US Today says about Sound of Freedom. So far, Sound of Freedom's box office titans feature wholly predictable stars and titles. There's Harrison Ford in his final Indiana Jones. Are you calling Indiana Jones a summer box office? A titan in the summer box office? Indiana Jones? Really? I think we just kind of disproves that. Chris Pratt in the Guardians of the Galaxy gang, and Spider-Man swinging across the Spider-Verse. I've heard the Spider-Verse is actually pretty good. Far less expected is the impressive showing of The Sound of Freedom. The outside of Hollywood entry in the summer sweepstakes is about a federal agent tackling CT. Took in $19.7 million last weekend, according to the Box Office Mojo, which is the site we just used. That makes Freedom the third most popular movie in the country, behind top-grossing Insidious Red Door, which it just beat at the box office yesterday, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
There's a new Insidious movie?
Yep.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, I heard it's like the fourth one or something, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
But The Sound of Freedom already is much of a political football, as it is unlikely a cinematic success. The film is generating buzz among conservatives and liberals, not so much for its content, really. Both ideologies agree CT is the height of immoral. Yeah, hang on. Is anyone not claiming that CT is a bad thing? Hang on, are we US Today, are we trying to make out that CT is good? Is that what you're claiming here? They're claiming that that both ideologies agree that CT is the height of immorality.
Immorality, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. So I was mentioning this before. I think I said it before the show started. Yeah, I was like, one of the things I've noticed is that they of course virtue signal, how awful CT is.
Yeah.
But then they go on to say, oh, but like everyone knows, it does happen. No one likes it. This movie is just, it's not necessary. It's just playing into QAnon, that's all it's for.
Like if I was
like,
if I was to turn around and say to someone, robbery is bad, but hey, robberies happen, and sometimes if you leave your home, your house is going to get robbed.
Yeah, it happens, man. Just get insurance. Don't worry about it. We don't have to raise awareness about this.
That kind of makes me sound like I'm sort of justifying robbery a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Curious, though.
Yeah.
But anyway. Sound of Freedom draws upon the real life of Tim Ballard, a U.S. Department of Homeland Security agent who is credited with saving countless children, largely from outside the U.S., from traffickers who force them into prostitution rings. He's a fucking hero for doing that. Why are you complaining? Oh my god, the media is so insidious. Then we've got this one from Yahoo. Jim Saville's thriller Sound of Freedom knocks Insidious Red Door from #1 spot on Monday. Well, at least they're factual about that, I suppose.
That'd be the plot for Insidious 5.
Yeah.
You, you turn on the TV and a mainstream media channel comes on, Insidious 5.
So this is all before Skydance Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 takes the air. Which is probably going to do pretty well, and I'm probably going to go and see. And then
So
obviously...
he's like, yeah, and it's interesting too. He's a Fed or an ex-Fed. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got Vulture, whose Sound of Freedom earns $40 million at the box office. An independent dramatic thriller film. This is why okay, here's a thought for you. Do they hate it because it's independent? Maybe.
No, they hate it because of the subject matter.
Or
That-
both,
it's not
maybe?
even- I don't think independent films really get any attention, like negative attention. I don't think.
Because, for example, as you all know, I play Star Citizen. I've always said that the reason why a lot of people hate Star Citizen and the mainstream games media is because it's independent. Their friends at, for example, Blizzard and Activision aren't making bank off the money that Star Citizen makes. Does make you wonder if there's a little bit of, who knows.
Yeah, there is a little bit. That could be true. Yeah.
There could be multiple reasons why they don't like it. A, it's independent. B, it's dealing with CT. C, it's sharing a light on it, and they're worried that maybe people are going to start asking questions.
I remember like Blair Witch Project. I think that was independent.
Was it?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
Let me have a look.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's because of that. I'm pretty sure that it's basically because this thing about the CT thing, that
Yeah,
anything
maybe.
and everything to do with the CT subject is getting torpedoed constantly in the media. It's just odd. Like, of all the things to counter narrative, you're going to counter narrative that.
Yeah.
Gosh, wow.
So the Blair Witch Project was put out by Artesian Entertainment.
Yeah, it was indie. Yeah.
Um,
And that didn't get attacked from my.
no, but that was
from my,
also 1999.
Yeah.
So who knows? Anyway, but you're probably right. It's probably just the whole CT thing. But guys, yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding that. Look, at the end of the day, I like Sound of Freedom. I like the fact that it's shedding a light on this stuff. I want to go and see it. I've got to find someone who's playing it, I suppose. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that too because I want to see it now.
Yeah, like all this effort they're going to discredit it makes me want to go and see it more.
Yeah, I'd like to go see it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna find anyone who's playing it.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right. Oh boy. Third topic for the day. Dylan Mulvaney doesn't feel safe in the US.
Kissed yet.
So, guys, this is. Well, Dylan Mulvaney has gone to Peru.
Hi, is this an okay time? Okay, surprise! I'm in Peru, and I'm at Machu Picchu. Isn't this just so beautiful? I'm here by myself,
Yeah,
and I
the
used to do a
safest
ton of solo
place
traveling.
for trans people would be America.
Wow. Stop using facts.
Sorry, I'll try. I'll do better.
I'm telling you, it's the best. If you could ever do a solo trip somewhere, it is such a good way to get to.
I don't know if solo trip to Peru should be something that Dylan Mulvaney should be encouraging young women to do. Like,
depending on your ideology, should be encouraged.
well,
Sorry.
To know yourself better.
Sorry, just kidding.
But I came here to feel
comment.
something. You know what I mean? And I definitely have.
so it went to Peru to feel something apparently, and it definitely
Feel something.
and it definitely has felt something. Yeah.
I've done shaman ceremonies that were like 10 years worth of therapy. It was wild. I've seen a lot of llamas,
you're playing
and the
Clipper.
people here are so kind. I feel very safe here. It's a little sad that I had to leave my country to feel safe, but that will get better eventually. and I am dying for.
So apparently she feels really, really safe in Peru, but not in America. But apparently it's going to get better. Don't worry. Does anyone tell that Trump's more likely going to win 2024? Do you think that... And not that I'm saying Trump is bad, or that Trump will actually go through and do anything. But, like, if you don't feel safe in the US right now, under the Biden administration, can you imagine how much Trump derangement syndrome is going to be affecting this kitten?
For some Trader Joe's
Yeah,
rolled
but-
chili lime chips, but
You know,
other than that, I am so
you can respect the if any celebrity actually leaves the United States,
Yeah.
at least they'd be doing what they said they were going to do when Trump won.
Yeah, well, a lot of them like left for a month and then came back.
Yeah, they probably just realized, oh, gee, America really is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? Apparently America is so bad, yet they try and encourage all these migrants to come to America.
Yeah.
I'm just
Although,
saying, you know, and like, come on, like, does anybody really think that Dylan Mulvaney doesn't feel safe in America? Because if you don't feel safe in America under a Biden administration, like this is the same. This is the same
you're
administration.
touching on that. You're touching on it. It's grift. It's all grift.
Yeah, this is the same administration that put frigging trans flags and LBGT flags in the White House.
I had a trans party, wasn't it?
Yes.
Recently? Yeah.
Yes. And apparently cocaine. But
Yeah.
but I was going to say, but at the end of the day, like if you claim that you don't feel safe in America under the Biden administration, who's bending over backwards to cater for you, and you don't still feel safe, maybe it's a bit of a mental issue. Do we want to touch on that? Maybe we shouldn't. But, like, hello? Are you okay, sweetie? Do you need a tampon? I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going.
so content. Still haven't been
You
kissed
wouldn't
yet,
know where
but
to put it.
I'm holding out.
Oh, God. I could figure somewhere. Apparently she hasn't been... she, he, it, whatever. Hasn't been kissed yet.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Who would kiss that?
Wow, yeah. Every time she squints, all I see is like wrinkles around her face. But what I was going to say was like, and this is the thing, like we know trans people, like Blair White and all these sort of people, right? I was speaking to two people of the LGBT community over the past month. Both of them don't like this trans shit, according to them. That's what they claim, right? They don't like it. Because they're literally going through and damaging our brand. They're damaging our movement. But
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah.
And-
that has been ongoing for a while, for a few years now.
yeah,
They call them
most of-
trans trenders.
yeah. Well, you know.
This trip has me feeling like I'm my own best friend
there's
again.
another one too.
And that is the best feeling in the world.
Have you heard of tender queers?
No, what's that?
Oh man, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I'll get you the definition of tender queer.
All right. Oh boy.
World, and I hope that you feel that way about yourself too. And
Look. Here's the thing.
A term used in the LGBTQ community to describe a fellow queer person who is perceived as too sensitive. It's often a pejorative.
Right.
So basically, like just overly sensitive queer people.
Isn't that
Which
most
is-
of them?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And look,
So-
here's the thing. As for Dylan Mulvaney, like if it feels better as a person, then knock yourself out, sweetie. No one's saying you can't do that. But what people get upset about is when you get a alcohol sponsorship and your audience is mostly kids. That's what people get upset about. That's why this Bud Light thing is so big. It's not because people are against trans people. It's because people don't want their stuff being sold to kids.
Yeah, and another thing, and this will play into what Dylan Mulvaney is doing right now, and the reason I brought up the tenderqueer thing. So, have you heard of another term? I believe it gets called like woke scolding.
No, what's that?
So being woke and basically scolding somebody else for not being woke enough or not being sensitive enough to wokeness, right? So,
Right. Which
you
is
call them
everybody.
Wokes. Yeah. So woke, being a woke scold, you know.
Right.
And the tender queers, and like another term that's used for it is, for example, describing emotional LGBTQ plus persons with a sensitive and openly emotional disposition who uses their knowledge of social justice language in order to be insincere or avoid accountability for their actions.
Right.
Right? So
Which is
you
all of them.
understand. Yeah, you understand what could be happening. Like Dylan is using their status to be a victim and to kind of like scold the US.
Like, is there any question about that being true?
Well, yeah, I'm basically trying to make the point that
Yeah.
you know this is possibly what is going on.
Like,
here.
has everybody
and-
seen? Has everybody seen the clip of Dylan Mulvaney, like being on The Price Is Right?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh boy, you're in for a treat.
Oh no.
Yeah. So Dylan was actually on The Price Is Right years ago, and
Oh god.
it was a very theatrical yippee. Like we're talking like running around the set, screaming, laying on their back, doing cartwheels. Oh, hang on, guys, look, we're gonna have to look. Hang on.
Wait, we're having like acting like a child?
Pretty close to it. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
Dylan Mulvaney, Price Is Right.
Yeah, get
All right, I found it. It's really easy to find on Twitter. Everybody's laughing about it. Let me open a new window and duplicate and post. All right, so we're gonna watch the Dylan Mulvaney on The Price Is Right video, everybody.
Right.
Have you got the stream open?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, here we go, everybody.
yeah, you get to spin the wheel, but guess what? You get a second chance in this game first.
No way. Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm still in it!
So you know two prices already, which is a great thing. $3.99 and $5.99. Which one do you want to keep?
I'm gonna keep the $5.99.
Keep $5.99. Something else up here is $5.99. You can tell me what it is. You get everything.
I'm gonna say the soup.
Soup, $5.99. It's pretty fancy. It is. Yes, you got it. Dylan's a winner. Dylan's a winner. Dylan, nice job, man. Look at that. We're gonna spin the wheel right after this. Don't go away, folks.
They don't cut away.
Oh, thank God they don't. Now, I'll let you finish. And that gives you a couple of seconds
It
behind.
just keeps going.
Yeah. Let me know when you're finished.
Yeah, I'm finished. Yep.
Right, now, you watch that clip and you tell me, and you give me a definition of someone that's an attention seeker.
That is that's the perfect example of it.
Yeah.
But also just wow. That behavior was so weird.
Yeah. So that was Dylan on The Price is Right before Transitions. Now, like,
Yeah.
keeping that in mind and how much attention they got from that, and now you've got the 365 Days of Womanhood, and all the attention they're getting from that. You tell me. Do you? I don't think Dylan is trans. I think Dylan is suffering from narcissism.
But there's not just narcissism, because you can be narcissistic and not act so just weird.
But
And-
it's attention seeking.
Yeah, but it's attention seeking in a certain kind of way. That was like, you know when gay men portray feminine characteristics,
Yeah.
they act, fruity, I guess is that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That was like beyond fruity. That was like really fruity.
But I think that was because she knew the camera was on her. She was having millions of people watching her. And like you
Yeah.
said, they didn't turn away. They didn't stop. They kept
Yeah,
rolling.
I think he said they were going to go to a commercial break, and they just didn't.
Yeah, they just kept going.
It's like, this is gold. They were like, oh my god, this is gold. Like,
Yeah.
Don't cut away, don't cut away.
And I bet if anybody personally knew Dylan Mulvaney, I imagine you a day or 2 days after that, they would have been on rock bottom. They got all this attention,
because the attention stopped.
all this
after that.
attention from The Price is Right. Millions of people looking at him, millions of people talking about him, and then a day or 2 days later, nothing.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what does happen though. Like, a lot of people who go viral, when the viral sensation ends, they hit like a massive rock bottom. And that's a narcissism thing though.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I think she's narcissistic.
Yeah.
And then what did you get? A year later or a few months later of whatever it was? You got the 300 Days of Womanhood.
Yeah.
And when you're liking the attention and when you're getting the attention, you don't care if it's people laughing at you or people laughing with you. As long as you're getting the attention, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that for some people it can matter. Maybe for Dylan, no.
And this is what I think. Like, this whole victimhood of I've had to go to Peru, it's attention seeking. It's, look at me, I'm a victim, I need attention. I was chased out of my country, the safest country in the world, and I went to Peru, where they'll probably chuck me off a roof. But don't worry, I feel safer in Peru than in America. Why? Well, because in Peru, she's getting attention. She's still got her social media. I imagine how rock bottom Dylan would feel if they didn't have social media. If you took Dylan Mulvaney's phone away from her, or him, or whatever you want to call it, right? If you took their social media phone away from them, I imagine you would see something like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
There would probably be pea soup. There would be clawing. There would be screaming. There would be pounding on the sand on the ground, trying to get her phone back. Because I think at the end of the day, Dylan Mulvaney is an attention seeker. I don't think she's trans. I don't think she identifies as a woman. I think she identifies as a attention seeker. This is why she's running around in the forest with high heels.
Yeah, I would say more than likely a gay man is the correct or maybe the real thing under the hood. It's a gay man.
Dude, I went on a date with this chick that was the epitome of a valley girl. Right? It was like, oh my god, I've got to go. Okay, like, can you pull the car closer because I don't want to get my feet wet and we only went for one date, trust me. And I said to her, and to be honest, it was mostly as shits and giggles for my part, right? I thought, this chick is so far up herself. I'm gonna take her out to the middle of fucking whoop whoop, and just see if she will like drop the Valley Girl shit. So we're driving out there, and she's like on her phone. She's like doing her makeup in the car, and she's like going around. Right, this chick was the epitome of Valley Girl. Yeah. Like everything was like so good and like, oh wow, you're so hot and well, like, yeah, you're like 6 foot. I like a guy like 6 foot. Oh wow, yeah. Right, literally talks like this. She didn't wear high heels when we went hiking. Yeah. The Valley Girl didn't wear high heels.
Well, you're not supposed to. I would just say that, you know.
Dylan Mulvaney does. The epitome of Valley Girl took fucking sneakers.
Yeah, it goes to show how much of a grift, Dylan Mulvaney
exactly does. My point. As soon as I saw that, I thought, holy shit, Tim Pool is right about Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll probably keep moving along. Anyway, obviously at the end of the day, obviously mainstream media is lapping this up and giving Dylan as much attention as it possibly craves. Dylan Mulvaney doesn't feel safe in the United States over Bud Light backlash. Because, the 65,000 workers that are losing their jobs, care less and less important than Dylan Mulvaney. But anyway.
I mean, speaking of that backlash, I watched an interview recently of this guy who is in the advertising industry, works for a company that is not quite the top 5, but they're getting in there. Like they've got a foot in the door and they're getting into the bigger brands, representing bigger brands.
Yep.
And the top 5 and all of the advertising industry is currently basically like they're shedding bricks at the moment and being mega super careful about what they do and how they do it, because they're deathly afraid of having another another incident that happened with the beer, basically.
Yeah. And so they should be.
Actually, because they're freaking out that backlash actually worked.
Yeah.
It's destroyed an entire brand, and they can't believe it that it actually happened.
Number 1 on the beer for most popular beer in America is now down below 14.
Yeah. Brands are also just talking to the advertising agencies, and just they're like, everyone's on thin ice.
Yep.
They're going to be really careful right now.
And so they should be.
And yes. We might actually see, I'm seeing change. So we are going to see change in advertising, which is nice. But it's also nice to see similar kinds of anti-woke change happening in gaming as well. It's really nice to see these things.
Well, so I'll ask you about that when the new Tomb Raider movie or the new Tomb Raider game comes out.
Yeah. I've played a bunch of AAA titles recently that are all 2023 release titles, and none of them were woke, and they were all just good, clean games.
Okay.
No issues there. But yeah, there might still be a few bad apples. We'll see how it goes.
And I look, I hope those movies and those games, I hope they fail miserably. I
me
really
too.
do. I'm so over, like, yeah. But
Yeah.
speak of backlash and on thin ice, CNN under fire for misgendering Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, how'd they do that? That's crazy.
So we actually have the clip here. So let's
Nashville. We even talked to a bar in
Although,
Chicago.
Actually, have you? Is it true that CNN has been like, I guess, crypto anti-woking lately? Like,
So they do have a new owner or a new manager, I believe. And I believe he also said that he wants to bring CNN back to the more of the middle of the road. But we've heard this before. But let's watch this. Let's watch this clip. Let's watch CNN step in it.
We went to Nashville.
Okay.
We even talked to a bar in Chicago. One bar was telling us basically they're not going to serve it because they don't like the way Dylan Mulvaney was treated after this whole controversy started. He, of course, is the transgender person they were going to sponsor and go along with Bud Light. They didn't like how Bud Light didn't stand by him after all this.
Oh wow, he says it twice too. He calls him a him. Yeah, awkwardly uses he pronouns when referring to Mulvaney, who continues.
yeah, I heard him say. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
him do it twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Before we wrap up today, we do want to make an important note.
That's
Yesterday in a
that's something
segment
else, isn't it?
So apparently they have made a statement on it. Let's listen to this.
about transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, who was featured in Bud Light's recent campaign, she was mistakenly referred to by the wrong pronoun. And CNN aims to honor individuals' ways of identifying themselves, and we apologize for that error.
Alrighty.
They had to apologise on air. It's funny because it was a black guy that said it, so if they had to fight him, we can claim racism, I suppose. Hey, this is identity politics, CNN. This is what you wanted. So suck it, I suppose. But goddamn, that sucked. Agreed. The Media Watchdog's research director. Wow, absolutely garbage sentiment. A Media Matters fellow wrote, while another called it disrespectfully poor journalism. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say all these people that are criticizing this black guy for misgenderizing someone are just racist. In fact, I might even tweet out later to Media Matters calling them racist for being critical of the black person who works at CNN.
Don't they know how intersectionality works?
Yeah, he is black. He is, I presume, higher on the victim totem pole than Dylan Mulvaney. So
yeah, you know.
yeah, so at the end of the day,
he's a black man, which is on a higher status than a white man.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, even white female, even if you want to go that far. So at the end of the day, CNN, look, Media Matters and the Media Matters and the Watchdog, Media Watchdog, just need to stop being racist. That's all it is. You have to put your white privilege aside, presuming you're white, and stop criticizing Ryan Young because you are just being racist. And you are, what would they say? You are encouraging the historical oppression that the blacks have survived over the years by criticizing Ryan Young. There you go. See? Yeah. Suck it. But CNN eventually apologized on Wednesday at the episode of News Central. But yeah, intersectionality for the win. Apart from that, what are your thoughts on this whole Dylan Mulvaney, CNN misgendering, Dylan not feeling safe in Peru, all this sort of shit? Anything you want to add, or do you think we've
No, I've got nothing to add about the Peru part. The CNN part, that's classic.
Yeah, and look,
I can only imagine it happened because the guy is probably just doesn't believe in it,
probably not.
or just really dislikes Dylan Mulvaney.
have you seen the episodes where they go to the Bronx and they ask the people in the Bronx about like misgendering and like trans and all that sort of stuff, and like all these people in the Bronx are like, "What are you talking about, bro? We don't listen to this shit."
Wow.
What? Yeah. Like the theory is that all this misgendering and all this identity politics and stuff, it's a class problem, because only the middle class or the wealthy class actually care about it. That if you get down to the weeds, if you get down to the low income earners and stuff, they have bigger problems than worrying about freaking misgendering or trans. Like, for example, putting food on their freaking table.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they care about more than any of that sort of shit. It's not until you become like wealthy, like middle class or up, that you actually start caring about any of this sort of shit. Which is why
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. And a lot of this woke stuff is basically upper class white men and women.
Mostly women. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly women. That is true as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
which says a lot.
It does. Well,
they have time to worry about such things.
Well, look, at the end of the day of their lives and stuff like that. And this is the thing too. If you want to make the argument, women over the years have been programmed to react or to witness, I suppose, or to encourage to carry on with victimology and drama.
Yeah.
Like your daytime soaps and all that, right? The soap operas and all that. How many of those are dramatic? How many women watch those and then start mimicking like this sort of behavior in their normal life because all of a sudden they get addicted to the drama?
They do, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a girl that was on the radio once, and she turned around and she cheated on her boyfriend, and when the radio host asked her why, she said, well, that's what they do in like Neighbours.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I want to say the Valley
That
girl
is so
I dated.
sad.
I want to say the Valley girl I dated for one date was not even that bad. But I was going to say, but at the end of the day, this is the sort of thing, right? They grow up, they're watching soap operas and watching TVs and all this sort of stuff. They get used to it. They like the drama. They get addicted to the drama. And then all of a sudden, they go back in the workforce. So they go into the whatever. And then all of a sudden, they need drama in their life. So, they start backstabbing. They start, conspiring at work. They start causing drama at home. It does make you wonder if it's a possible scenario. But
it makes sense. It does make sense.
Anyway, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Apart from that, obviously, if you have any questions, any comments, anything at all, feel free to hit us up in the comments if you're on YouTube. Or you can obviously find us on Twitter. Do keep in mind that this is obviously uploaded to Spotify as well as a podcast. So obviously you guys can go through and watch it on there. And also we also do clip parts out and put it up onto YouTube as well. So there's a lot of places you can find us, and we might be also doing the Rumble thing too. I have a co-host that's talking about Rumble a bit, isn't he?
Yep.
But guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Apart from that, we will be back tomorrow, or I will be at least. Apart from that, have a great night. Enjoy yourself, everybody. You want to say bye, Sat?
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. Enjoy, everybody. Have a good night. Enjoy.